Hey guys, welcome back to OPTCG. So today we're talking about a leader that I've really liked for a long time, but that was never really viable because the support just wasn't there. But that is Vivi. Vivi is a blue and red leader that can't attack, but that for 2 Dawn you can give one of your characters rush for the turn. So I think it's a strong leader effect. It's just none of the cards since it came out were really made for Vivi. Like the Alabasta package is just, I tried to run it back in the day and it just was...
Doesn't really work.
Yeah, it was just, you would get crushed, honestly.
There's some cards that are good.
No, there's some cards that are good, and there were some matchups where it worked, but overall it was just like, yeah, there's stronger red leaders and there's stronger blue leaders.
100%. But it's good to have a multicolored leader of 5 life.
100%. So I decided to revisit this deck after seeing the sort of support that we're getting for Vivi in EB2, most notably the Vivi card. That is a 3-cost that allows you on play if you have 5 or less cards to draw 2 cards. So pretty good, like Sanji Pilaf, but if your leader is multicolored, yeah. So I decided to kind of make a deck from scratch with Vivi, playing none of the original sort of Vivi that I played back in the day with Alabasta, because the Alabasta package is not very good. But basically just using random cards from both red and blue that I thought would be fun and strong to play together. This deck kind of has no consistency other than the fact that you just draw a lot. And that's kind of the whole point of the deck, is just to draw, and then play big bodies.
That's what you need. That's really what you want.
Yeah, and so some good additions with some new cards being, like I mentioned, the new Vivi card, as well as the new 2-cost Searcher that is for all the colors that allows you to search 4 or more, because that way, I mean, that's one of the only consistency. Don't play any other searchers because I just want to search the top end, and they're all different packages, so yeah.
You also have the 7-cost Kyros from OP10 and the 2K Tony Chopper. And the 2K blocker. Tony Chopper, very good blocker, very good 2K, as well as the Kyros is a great card. Like 9,000 stat line is just great. And to bounce back a 5, it's just really good. So yeah, that's why I decided to make a deck for Vivi, and we're gonna go through some games, and you haven't seen them yet, but yeah, I thought these games were pretty fun, and I was honestly not expecting to win any with Vivi, but no, not any, but you know. It is off meta.
It's off meta, it's a weird deck, and also I just made it very random, but I think it works not too bad, so.
Yeah, I mean, when you play the best cards in each color.
That's the thing, like it's just good cards, and then the leader effect is good, like I think it's good, it's just missing an extra bit of Vivi support, and I'm hoping to see it soon, because I really like this leader. So yeah, let's get into some games. First matchup against BY Luffy. I think it's not a bad matchup, to be honest, just because have that gravity blade, obviously, so getting rid of those sabos is always useful. Other than the fact that here I'm going first, which you never want to do with Vivi. I don't care who I'm playing against. I always want to go second just to do the leader effect first turn, and then even on curve, like all your bodies, you want to be second.
BY chose, so he's definitely going to go second as well.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Just a better curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting that BY just takes his own life.
I mean, yeah, BY. I can't attack with leader, so I think he's pretty safe to take that life. And yeah, I played this 2-cost Luffy, which I would probably change, but I kind of like it. It's for 2 costs, you can then also put 2 Dawn on it and get 2 rested Dawn. So with Vivi effect for 4 Dawn, you can play it, give it rush, and then give it 5,000 power. Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, here I decided to play the Sanji just because.
Just to have a body on board.
And he's gonna go.
You don't have to do effects. It basically works like a blocker.
Exactly. Yeah.
And here, I think you're gonna use the Kyros to bounce back.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking. Yeah. So Kyros, great option. Like hard body to get rid of, and just bouncing back those 5 costs. Like sure, just take it back, play it out again.
The game plan against BY is just want to build out your board with massive characters
and not attack. Wait. Yeah, only attack into board until he gets to 0 life, because obviously you don't want to help him to do that.
Yeah, but interesting that the BY is running the cannon though.
That is interesting. Yeah.
I don't know why you would play that with BY.
I mean, yeah.
Maybe as a weird. I mean, Luffy is better, like the Rocket Luffy.
100%.
Just better.
100%.
Maybe just for the 5 costs?
Yeah, but sure. I mean, I guess there's a lot of 5 costs, like.
But you can't use the effect because, like, the trigger, like draw to trash one is always good, but.
Yeah. So here I'm just going face, I think, just to go face and put some pressure because I have Rush with Vivi effect. So it's like, okay, let me just put another 9k pressure on Luffy that is a 5k leader and get some cards out of hand. So it's kind of the game plan here, and I have 2 big bodies.
And he trashed 4 cards, which is very good.
Perfect. And he has 2 big bodies, so like good luck getting rid of both of them. And then I have, 3 other big bodies in my hand, and I have a lot of cards because I've been doing leader effect. So it's not too bad of a position to be in.
And you have the Gravity Blade, which is...
And I have Gravity Blade, so I'm literally the whole time just waiting for him to play out 2 Sabos, bottom deck those. Or even the Luffy, because that's very annoying. And that's probably what I'm going to do right now is...
And that's what's good with the Kyros and the Gravity Blade is like it kind of goes around the can be KO'd.
Exactly, yeah. No, it's so good.
Even Ben Beckman that you play would actually trash
it would, it would.
Yeah,
but
Gravity Blade.
And just go face and ask another bunch of cards out of hand.
At least.
And now I'm just whittling down slowly but surely. I know.
4 cards for that. That's perfect.
Gecko Moria, sure, but what are you gonna do? Like, you have 3 cards in hand.
And he needs to trash 1 from hand.
Literally, what are you gonna do? So. And I have Rush. That's the thing. And good luck trying to get rid of my Kyros because now I have enough counter.
And I don't have loads of... so...
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, I don't have loads of counter, but still, should be enough.
Oh, he plays out the card.
Yeah, that's when you know it's dire. I was like, why is he not playing out Sabos?
Because he doesn't have the bottom deck.
I know.
No, all you can do is just put life in board, try to draw. Yeah. But it's kind of over for that.
Yeah, like, okay, I will take that happily. Give me more cards in hand to counter.
Boa?
Yeah, I think here the move would be Boa and just...
He's at 7k, so you can still do...
Exactly.
Like a 9k...
No, I think here my plan, right, is to play this Luffy because I like this Luffy. So I was doing some math here to figure out how I could do the highest hit. Would it be with Boa or with this 2-cost Luffy? And it was actually with the 2-cost Luffy because I could give it 2 rested Dons, so it actually only cost me 2 Dons. And he's a 5k, and then I can put 8 Dons on a 5k and go 11k to face.
Amazing. Amazing. That was the math, actually.
That was the math. So I was like, okay, do I play Boa? And I was like, okay, but then, like, even if you play that sort of long game, it's like, I don't want to give him opportunities to, like, do more stuff. So I was like, you know what? The math is mathing.
But it's insane that even when the BY had 13 cards in hand, you with 2 attacks, trashed out like 8 cards.
I know, it was great. It's fantastic. And then I was just drawing. That's what I think. Like,
and you bottom deck the Sabo, so
it's perfect. That's the thing is against BY, it's like, let me see my Gravity Blade. Let me see a Kyros. Kind of good. Like, like he's not gonna get rid of it. And yeah, Kyros, as you can see, it's a great addition to the deck. Like, 100%. Honestly, being able to for 9 Dawn give it 9k Rush, bounce back a 5 is so good. It's so good. So yeah, it was a very fun game. So my opponent is choosing turn order, and again, I'm always hoping that I go second and trying to, hopefully your opponent doesn't know that it's such a big advantage to go second, but yeah.
I mean, he's probably reading your leader because it's such a
back in the day leader, like.
Yeah, for new players, it might take a while.
Yeah.
Even just to revamp. But it's interesting because...
I mean, he made the right choice, though.
Yeah, but it's interesting with Usopp because Usopp is kind of like the same play style as that you kind of wait it out until you can play out Rebecca into Kyros Cavendish.
Yeah, very true.
So that's
the thing. It's like that's why I was like kind of nervous about this game. I was like, oh, I feel like this is a pretty tough matchup. Like you have access to all the same good blue cards and black cards, which is like one of the best colors. Except you can also attack and you draw when a character gets KO'd. So it's like you're drawing, you're playing really good bodies. So it's like okay, but. Trust in the Vivi draw.
100%.
So, and that's what I was thinking. Seeing a pudding is like, great. I'm going to try and get as many cards in hand as possible and then pudding you. Yeah. And then if I see a Gravity Blade, even better.
But it's interesting with Usopp because Usopp as well has a lot of draw technically because every time you KO his stuff, he draws.
Yeah. See here, the event came in super handy because I could just event and then force him to attack into the body and not life, and then 2k and keep it alive. And then that Luffy, it becomes useful. It's a 5k body with Rested Dawn, so it's not bad.
Bounce back to Cavendish.
And then still have a 5k attacker. So here I think I might go into life to get more cards in hand to putting him next turn. I think that might be my play. Or attack into the... No, yeah, that was my thing. But he might just counter. Yeah, so backfired there. I probably should have gone into the body, and then he would have drawn a card anyways because it would have been
No, he wouldn't, because he can... He just draws if he has 5 or less.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, well... My thought process was he was going to take 5k, but that makes sense.
It still works out.
Yeah, so he grabbed...
6 cards or less, I think, actually. Or 5, I don't know.
Well, he got rid of both of my bodies, which is pretty annoying, but he played nothing, so at least I can kind of do what I want. And I think I'm hesitating here.
Use a red rock for one of your technically smaller bodies, so it's not too problem.
Yeah, like, it's kind of fine. But here I think I'm hesitating between Ben Beckman and Rayleigh. I think... Oh, okay.
Not even that.
Not even. Okay, I think I just wanted to draw more.
Then you play out a blocker chopper, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Fair enough. You know, I just wanted to play more blockers.
You just waited.
I mean, here he could just Gravity Blade, and that would be pretty annoying.
Or you could Rebecca and bounce back the 3k and KO your if he has a...
Yeah, but I think also here it's like, if he Gravity Blades, that's kind of good, because that means that he's not playing anything else down for now. And so I can play stuff down next turn. But no, he does not Gravity Blade. So because of that, I think it means next turn is going to be a Rayleigh.
Yeah, he KOs your thing.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Interesting. Yeah, because he doesn't have stage, so...
True, yeah.
But now, Rayleigh?
I think Rayleigh is definitely the choice here. Minus 3k to the Cavendish, KO that, just because it has a 1 attacking, and then minus 2k to the Zoro.
And KO.
And then KO that, just because I don't want him to draw when he attacks next turn.
Makes sense.
And then give it rush, go face. And I'm just keeping that putting in hand in case he gets cards.
I think you're in a very good position here.
I think it's not too bad. Like, it's not great, but it could be worse. And I mean, Helpsley doesn't have stage.
Trash to Rebecca, where he could have played out. Yeah, he could have played out the Cavendish and the thing, and with the Rebecca for 7 Dom instead of 8.
True.
And still attack for 7, but
yeah.
I mean, blunder. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, his lost my gain. So I think I think Ben Beckman would be the choice here, just to get rid of the Cavendish again and trash it. And then give it rush and attack. And draw another Rayleigh for next turn. Go
into the Zoro, yeah.
Like, that's what I mean. It's just so good to have like these strong cards that have rush. You can get immediate utility out of a minus 3k on Rayleigh or minus 2k.
Oh my god, he saw all his fucking Zoros.
Yep.
It's his 4th Zoro.
Yep. Yep. But at least he doesn't have that many cards in hand now.
Yeah, just go Rayleigh.
Rayleigh. KO that one.
Yeah, just draws, and then you get rush and go into the...
Yeah.
To the other Zoro.
Exactly. I mean, immediate utility. Get rid of 2 bodies, put my own big body, and now he has and draw a boa. See, that's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I think that's the strength of... Of Vivi is really to... be able to draw.
100%. Like, that's the thing, is you're always drawing, so I'm countering with these 1Ks, but that's fine. Like, next turn I'm gonna draw 2 cards anyways, because... Okay, so now I was thinking, like, oh, do I boa or do I red rock?
You can't boa.
But I can't boa because it's Luffy. So I had to red rock that one, because I was like, that's too dangerous to have it attack twice on board. I do not want that. And now I just clear board and set myself up for next turn.
And whatever blocker?
And I put a blocker, and then whatever he plays, I'll boa it. Unless, of course, it's a Luffy. But
yeah, there we go.
Becca, Kyros, make me bounce back my blocker was definitely the right choice here.
And the Frankie, interesting.
Yeah. And then 7k into life, I'll take. So I have my own Kyros here. I think here I'm going to play Boa. I think that makes sense.
Kyros would make sense as well.
It would, yeah. It would. But I think I just like the Boa. Yeah, I like the Boa more. And that way I can just play Kyros next turn. And when the blocker is actually active. So I have like full utility, because what's the point in bouncing back the blocker when it's not a blocker? Anyway.
And then you have a Dawn up for you're in a good position.
Radical Beam, that's what I mean. Like, don't need a bunch of 2Ks, and I have a searcher for 2 costs if I need to search whatever else, but I still have 2 big bodies that will be able to bounce back stuff. And he's at 1 life, so he needs to be careful with my rush characters to not, you know, to actually set up some blockers and not play too greedy. So yeah, trash to pudding finally.
And he doesn't even attack with
No, he couldn't. He had boa for Kyros.
No, but he didn't attack Oh yeah, you bowed.
I bowed, yeah. That's sense. What I mean. And so now it's like I have these 3 big bodies.
AK, 9K.
Good luck. But also, like, if I don't kill him this turn, it's a bit tough for me. But 9K. And yeah.
It's over, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he was pretty bricked up. I mean, he only had 2K counters, so either way, that would have been tough. But yeah, that's what I mean. The strength of Vivi is not bad. It's very random and inconsistent, but the consistency is just drawing strong cards.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like you play out bodies that either remove or incapacitate your opponent.
100%.
Which is
like it's the best red and blue top end in my opinion.
And at the same time you're attacking.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I don't play any, like I play only 1 copy of the Shanks 10, and that's just because I want to give rush to my characters and draw every turn. So I like thought about playing the Mihawk 9, or thought about even playing Sanji to play out multiple characters, but it just doesn't make sense because then I'm not drawing a card and it's just adding more bricks. So like, no, just stay with the good mid to high range characters, like 100%. 7 to 9K, and then give them rush.
Or even Boa 6K, but which is
Boa 6K is an amazing card. Like being able to incapacitate, like you said, like an opponent's character other than Luffy, and then give it rush is just so good. On 8 Dawn turn is like very strong.
It's very strong.
That was the Vivi deck. So some pretty fun matchups. Honestly, I was not expecting to have such a strong matchup against certain decks. Like I thought against Usopp it was dead from the start, but it really isn't. So yeah, this was a very random deck that I just created. Just randomly. But I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty strong and it's pretty fun. I'm sure that there would be a million ways to change it. And because this is super inconsistent, you could, you know, change it and replace a bunch of cards. There's some that in the deck list that we didn't see in any of these games because I just don't see them because I only have like 2 copies and it's super random, like the Uzi. But yeah.
I mean, I think it's still super strong, like even against green yellow law, which is technically not technically an aggro deck, since like it's putting a lot of things on board. But it's even showcased because a lot of your cards deal with that.
100%.
Especially the Kyros and the Boa, and even the Rayleigh in some sorts, where you do have a little bit more control, you draw even more. I mean, it just makes sense. It just makes sense to run all these cards.
Yeah, and I think the weirdest choice where I was like super unexpected is the 2-cost Luffy. Maybe we were having a conversation about how worth it is to have in the deck. And I think I just like we saw in one of the games, like for 2 Dawn, essentially, you're giving rush to a character at the late game if you have 10 Dawn. And you can attack 11K. Like, that's so good. Yeah. Like, for a 2-cost character is pretty good. And there's no other character where you can do that, because technically even if you played Kyros...
You can do that with Sanji.
No, okay, with Sanji, okay.
Sanji is even more, because Sanji,
of course,
you get
Sanji,
an extra 2K.
No, of course with Sanji, of course. But I'm saying, other than Sanji, which I already have 4 of, so no argument there. But say even Kyros, it's like your max going 10K. So this small 2K body with Vivi is the highest attacker possible, giving rush, other than Sanji. Yeah. So I think it still makes sense, but let us know what you think of that 2-cost Luffy makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was the one I suggested when we were having a conversation is the 3-cost Sanji, which technically, if you don it out as well, for 10 Dawn, you're attacking into 11, just like the Luffy.
That is true.
And...
On KO, you draw a card. True.
While the Luffy can't be KO'd by strike characters,
it's useful sometimes. Not very often, but like sometimes.
Even in your deck list, the only strike characters are blockers.
Yeah.
And ulti.
I think it's a good option. I think it's just the 3 Dawn versus being on 2 Dawn. So it's just, if you're going second, first turn, I can draw a card and play a rush 5K, which is not bad. Like, it's like...
And then every turn you have it on board, if it survives, you can just reuse as Dawn.
Exactly. So I think it has really good value, especially if it stays on board, and it's kind of a slept-on card. For Vivi specifically. I don't know if there's... I think there's other decks.
I think it's a good tech. And I think it's fun.
I think it's a good tech. But yeah, Mainly just fun. Hope you liked the video, and let us know what other changes you would make to the deck, or what packages you would run with Vivi, or what other leaders you think that we should try out next, especially if they're long forgotten leaders. I think I want to see a resurgence in less played leaders. Let's go out the meta. Let's find more fun decks. So
100%. Yeah. It's always, if you're not having fun with the game,
what's the point?
And a lot of early leaders have some pretty niche
fun
packages,
mechanics.
And it's fun. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on our other socials, especially TikTok and Instagram. And see you next time.